Hello, ninth grade scholars. Here with your distance learning instruction for today. This is English Language Arts for Grade 9, Week 3, Lesson 14. Today's video will provide a list of the resources and materials needed for the lesson, an overview of the learning you can expect today, a modeling of the reading, thinking, speaking, and writing required for the lesson, and a preview of the upcoming learning. An overview of our learning starts with a review of what you're doing in terms of reading, thinking, speaking, and writing. For reading today, you are closely rereading the text and annotating for the meaning of the concept of deliberate practice. Let's go back to a section in our text that deals with the concept deliberate practice and annotate for what that means. Think about this. A summary is a concise, complete, and accurate overview of a text. It should not include a statement of your opinion or an analysis. Think about how you might summarize this text, musical genius. Talk with your family members, caregivers, or friends about whether you believe in the article's concept that people do have a working memory, and this working memory capacity helps musicians. Why do you think so? Let's discuss it with someone. And then when we get to the writing activity, you will be engaged in a jump start, author's purpose, and a summary. Now, this is our final lesson for the week of April 27th through May 1st. The materials you need today are simply our learning packet, a writing utensil, a pen or a pencil, whichever you prefer, and then your your electronic device is optional. The target for our learning today. I can analyze the text for new concepts learned while reading and write a complete summary using evidence from the text. We are definitely celebrating today, scholars. You made it through the end of yet another week, week 3. And if you will engage in a countdown with me, you've seen me dance and sing every day. There's always something from Teacher Nefertari. Well, today, we're simply going to work out. Sierra's Level Up is my workout song. All right, that's kind of slow. This is my warm-up. Let's pick it up. All right. Yes. Thank you, Sierra. All right, day 5. Let's get into it. For today, as a reminder, you always want to be thinking about your guiding questions. They help you, especially in terms of the summary and the author's purpose, which we also get into today. We are in the 5th stage of our close reading routine. We've done the launch, the first read, close read, and analysis of the text, and now we're analyzing the craft and the structure. That gets into the author's use of words as well as the author's purpose. For today, there are 3 activities: a jump start, author's purpose, and then a summary. And that summary should be brief. Let's review a summary. A summary is a concise, meaning short and sweet, but complete and accurate overview of a text. It should not include a statement of your opinion or an analysis. Think about how you might summarize this text. So, that's one definition that helps you to know that we shouldn't share what we think about the text in our summary, and we shouldn't get into deep analysis. It's only a restatement of what the author intended. Okay, so here we are. A summary is a brief statement or a restatement of the main points. Yesterday we did the main idea. It was a perfect segue because it leads us into our summary. This is especially as a conclusion to a work or as the summary of a chapter. Let's get some reminders on what a summary is. The rules for summarizing: the first and very important rule is that you only include important information. You contribute ideas. When writing a summary, you combine the ideas that were included in the entire text. And what a summary does not do is include your opinion once again. It does not paraphrase or even include quotes. You can go back to the text evidence, but you should just be summarizing in brief sentences or statements. And again, you don't want to talk about what you think. No appropriate room for your opinion in a summary. So do not contain or do not mention what you think the author should have said. For today's summary, you're going to be asked to write 3 or 4 sentences, and this graphic outlines here that a summary is always just the top 3 things that you have read in a text. Now, let's look at author's purpose. When you think of author's purpose, think of a pie. Yes, just like the pie, the dessert we all love to eat, because there are 3 purposes for an author's writings: persuade, inform, and entertain. Each of those words spell out the word pie. So pie is just an acronym for the reasons why an author writes. And again, they write to persuade, they write to inform, and they write to entertain. Based on that outline, why do you think the author wrote musical genius? Is it talent or practice? You decide. That will help you as you write your answer to the author's purpose. Okay, let's get into a quick modeling. Please go back to paragraph 9 today, scholars, because this paragraph asks you how a person's memory is a component of musical success. So, this article mentions something called working memory capacity, and this is a great resource for musicians, and I've underlined here in this paragraph what working memory capacity really is. It says it is a core part of the overall intellectual ability, intellect meaning intelligence, and it can predict success in something like playing an instrument. So we've all taken tests and we know having a great memory is useful when you need to recall information that you learned in the classroom. But in the same way, working memory capacity applies to musicians. When they have what is called an intellectual ability to remember large amounts of information, it helps them compose and to perform music. Let's get into our 3 activities for the day. Your turn, scholars. For our text, musical genius, is it talent or practice? We're going to first do a jump start. For that jump start, please go back through the text and determine what the 3 steps are in deliberate practice. I know that it's in the text, and this text was short. It was only 10 paragraphs, so you can find where deliberate practice is mentioned. Go back and outline those 3 steps. Here, for author's purpose, remember the word pie: persuade, inform, entertain. So you're asked to reread paragraph 9 to describe what's meant by the term working memory capacity. And if the author wants us to learn about something like working memory capacity, is he or she trying to persuade us of something, to inform us of something, or to entertain us? Is this a play? Is this a work of fiction? No, it's certainly not entertainment. I think it's between persuade and inform. But once you get into that paragraph and that answer, you will know for certain. Last but not least, we're going to write a 3 or 4 sentence summary, no more than that. You can cite text evidence, but you don't need to. You can simply outline the main points as we learn them. A preview of our upcoming learning. Next week will be May 4th through May 8th, and we have a new article entitled Quality of Life Indicators. This article is deep. It goes very deep into how we live and how we can improve the quality of our lives. We have new guiding questions, but the same essential question to guide our learning next week. As a reminder, share today's lesson with someone so that you can enhance your learning. Always complete 20 minutes of reading after you finish the day's lesson. Then do your reading log and engage in the fluency exercise. Just use one page of the weekly text and the fluency instructions in your packet. As always, email your teachers for support or any questions. Thank you, scholars. Bye.